and welcome to another episode of A Rockstar Take On. And today we have a rockstar take on art. And it's kind of a rule that I don't prepare these videos, but I was kind of worried because I had nothing. And then I did have something, and it was a couple of days ago and didn't write it down. And I forgot, but I have it, it came back to me. So I have something solid. I mean, I think. No, I have something solid. Boom, rockstar. I have something solid. Um, and that is that uh, why art is so why it's being kept kind of like outside um, of society. And I know that when I say, art is being kept outside of society, you're going to say like, oh, but the big painters, the big artists, their work is very valuable. Yes, but yes, but um, the reason that there is such that I say it's being kept outside of society is because there is a really big discrepancy between the work that is very valuable and that is used as an investment, as a way to kind of make your money work for you, park your money, um, versus the working artists that live today and how they are paid. So there's a really big discrepancy. And then there's even a bigger discrepancy between the artists who do make a living from their art currently. So they're, within their life, they're getting paid for what they create, versus the people who are only creatives. They are not allowed to call themselves artists. Their work is looked down upon, and that is really the kind of like part where I want to concentrate. Why that is a systematic way of downgrading creatives, downgrading people who create art who are not being paid for it, at least not in this lifetime. Um, yeah, so that's really what my rockstar take is gonna do. So I'm not gonna explain why some art is worth a lot and one of the best ways to invest your money. I'm also not going to explain uh, um, the ins and outs of being a working artist now and wanting to get paid for that, and the different options and the different options that fell away and everything like that. I'm really going to concentrate on why the, let's call it, normal people um, are systematically not included in the whole conversation about creativity and art. Like, art is being um, um, really sidelined as something for children, something for the elderly. And this is, if you want to learn more about the, about art and artists and creatives, then follow Amie McNee from Inspired to Write, because this is her work. This first introduction about the creativity being kind of like only okay if you're a child, or only okay if you're retired. That is literally from her work. It is as one of her core messages, and she really performs great work, putting everyone in their power to become creatives, to start calling themselves artists again, and to start taking your art really seriously, to start taking you as a creator of art, whether that's music or whether that's drawing or whether that's writing or taking pictures, to really take that extremely serious. And not serious as in in a painful way, but serious as in that you're allowed to have that, and that you really need that, and that it will really change your life. So that's the word of the work of Amie McNee, and I will also put the link in below to her book We Need Your Art. Okay, so that's that. So I want to talk about why is that? Why is someone who has a hobby as a writer or any other form of artist, why is that met with kind of like an interrogation if you're making money from that? Why is that only respected if you are on your way to becoming a professional or if you are already a professional? And why is it considered a waste of time if you're not? So I will give you the answer in a minute, and then you will be free forever to start creating your art. But before I do that, I really want to highlight why that is so important. And that is because every thing or every industry, in order to be a mature and healthy industry, all levels need to be attended to. So there are a lot of industries that don't have a rock star level. That means that there are no people representing the industry in the public eye. So the public eye doesn't know a very famous yoga teacher, for example. Yoga is really one of those industries where you don't have the rock star level. You don't have the top tier where the rock stars are, where the superstars of your industry are. And that is what makes, you could name Indian or gurus from India and everything like that. But there's no judgment in there. It's just that if you are in an industry, or if you have the feeling that something's up, like something is weird here, something is off here, it's usually because it's not a mature industry. So there are areas missing, and sometimes it's at the top, so there's not a rock star level. Sometimes it's in the middle, that there is no working business model in an industry. So that means that either you become the rock star of your industry, either you become one of the very, very few, or you die of poverty. So that's when the middle part is missing, when there is no working business model for to be a professional, to be just a normal professional in the business. So and then you have when the education is missing. So the education is not part of the general universities or the general like it's not advised in high school, like, oh, this is a profession that you may want to pursue. It's like, so then you have it at the missing at the education level, like of young adults between 15 and 25 or something. So that can also be a part why your industry is not a mature industry. But here we have the case where the people who are toying around with it are not allowed to have fun. So in soccer, for example, the children who go out and have fun playing soccer, just on the town square or whatever, that is appreciated, that is hailed. And the same for, I don't know, children who take their sport seriously. So the reason why it is important that art and creating is embraced and is included in our society, and that we see it as something honorable to be making art, to be creative, is because it is related to the big picture stuff. We cannot have like successful professional, rock stars or writers if we don't nourish the everybody who does it. If we don't cheer them on. So that's why it's important. So now we're at the end of this video, and I have the rockstar take on why that is. And that is because you're not spending any money. I know, but that's the reason. So it's kind of like this ingrained aversion that we have when we see someone invest a lot of time in something that doesn't cost them anything. So and that's also not contributing directly to social structures and other people's wellness and um, um, so for example, if you go play if you invest your time, you know uh, uh, doing a hobby where you see other people, then everybody thinks that is completely normal. But if you have a hobby that doesn't cost you a thing and that you do by yourself, so other people are not cannot profit off of it, they cannot profit of your company, and they also don't get money from you because it doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to take a course, you don't have to attend a small local business, you don't have to pay money online in order to for an app or anything like that. The reason creativity and making art is looked down upon, and you have to answer the question, are you becoming a professional? When are you becoming a professional? Why are you still doing this? The reason is because it's free. The reason is because capitalism, the law, the ruler that we all live under, is not profiting of us. They cannot take that away. And I think that's really it should be a very big inspiration for all of us to keep doing that. Making art is a very rock star thing to do because there's such an anarchistic and free spirited quality to it. So I hope this this inspires you to really take making your art very, very seriously. And you got this. And if you want more help, I have the Amie McNee, her name and her Instagram account and her book in the description box below. And she will kind of she can really fire you up to take your art seriously. Okay, I will see you next time. I don't know the topic yet. I will put it in the description box. But I'll see you there. Okay, see you in 2 weeks. Bye.